Hey, I'm Alex, one of the owners here at Carolina Terrain. We're a Waxhaw, North Carolina-based licensed landscape contractor, specializing in yard drainage, grading and excavation, hardscaping, erosion control, soil sampling, and sod installation. And today, I would like to talk about taking a soil sample. In order to take a soil sample, you'll need a 12-inch stainless steel soil probe where you can take core samples from the soil. You also need a clean bag. You can use a Sharpie to write the customer's name or details such as front yard or where the soil sample was taken and what type of soil it is. You also need a stainless steel trowel or shovel and then a pair of gloves. Next, I'll show you how to take a soil sample. To take a soil sample, you take your 12-inch stainless steel probe, you push it down into the soil. Now, depending how wet and compacted the soil is, it will determine the difficulty. So you may need to use a rubber mallet to get through harder surfaces. Also, please note you always want to perform utility locates before taking a soil sample due to the risk of underground utilities like internet lines that are typically buried at a shallow distance. You want to take the core sample and take your trowel, and if you're doing like a lawn, you want 4 to 6 inch depth of soil. So we'll take this from here down, and if you're doing a flower bed or a vegetable garden, you take the surface layer, the first few inches. So you want to get about 3 to 4 inches down. So use your shovel. You take your sample. Oh, drop that bit. You get this little bit right here, and you want to put that into your bag, like so. So after you've collected your first sample, you basically want to repeat this step, and you want to take about 5 to 10 paces before you take another sample, and you want to do this in a methodical way. You want to kind of meander back and forth across the property so you're getting a uniform soil sample from the property. So next, I'm just going to take a few core samples, and we'll talk about the next steps.
So as you can see here, I'm walking back and forth along the lawn, taking a core sample about every 5 paces, ensuring a uniform sample across the entire lawn.
All right, now since you have your soil samples from the yard, you want to take a brown bag such as this and just take a Sharpie and label it, whether it be the client's name or the location you took it, and the date as well. So you just open up the bag here, and then you'll transfer this over. When taking the sample, you want to avoid getting any kind of organic matter in here, like worms or grass clippings, and obviously any kind of stone, non-organic things like stones or twigs. And it'll look like this, and basically you just fold this over, and you want to store this in a dry place. I store it up in my attic for about a week. You could also add a fan to help speed up the drying process. Okay, next, once your soil sample is dry, you want to take this bag, and I like to just put it into a heavy-duty gallon-sized Ziploc bag. Like so. Close this up, leaving a small hole so the air can escape. And then I just spread out the samples, the core samples evenly. And then you'll want to take a mallet or something like a rock, and I like to put down a piece of wood or a piece of cardboard, and then just begin to break all this up into as small pieces as you can. So once I have pulverized the soil, the dried soil, into a powder, I'm just going to remove this from the bag. Just pour this into the Ziploc bag. And typically the bag's in pretty bad shape at that point, so you just toss this out and you'll be left with something like this, which is perfectly fine to package up this way. But I like to take it one step further, because your soil test is only as good as your sample, as they say. So I like to do gold panning, so I have some classifying sifters here. So different size sifters to sift this soil sample down. And then I just have like a normal gold pan here, and then a plastic trowel. So I'm going to put this on here so I don't make a mess. And basically I just pour this sample through here. And that's going to give me a really uniform sample that's going to be free of any kind of rocks or sticks. Give it a shake like so. And basically, what you're left with after that is a bone dry powder. And this makes for a great test soil sample as well, just because of how fine it is. Particles are very mixed up. You're going to get a very good result. The next step, what you'll need to package your soil sample is you can provide this state provided box. You can pick these up at your local libraries or your local ag extension center. Just look on Google and you'll be able to locate that. And then you also can go online and find their form that you need to fill out. And you can fill this out as a homeowner or as a contractor on behalf of the homeowner. And I will include the link to this sheet. And basically it has on the back all the instructions of taking a soil sample. I may have missed a couple things, so you can just refer to that. And you have some things you need to fill out, like your sample identification, which on the bottom here, you're going to fill this out with whatever you want it to be. For example, if it's a front yard, I'll just write front on here. And then you want to fill out the name and address for whoever you're taking the soil sample for, or if it's for own personal use. So once you've done that, you'll just fill out this form here. You'll fill out the sample identification number, whether or not you filled out applied lime in the last 12 months, and then the lawn/garden planting code, which if you look on the back, it has a lawn and garden planting code. In this case, it would be 026, which is lawn, not centipede grass. So just keep that in mind when filling this out. And then you just add the sample date, North Carolina county, the number of samples. Typically between April to Thanksgiving, there's no fee for this in the state of North Carolina. And December through March is $4 a sample. We do provide the soil sample as a service, but that is a paid service. And you can learn more by following the link below. You can schedule a consultation with us. We'll spend an hour with you and we can take a sample at that time and talk about the costs. So once you have all this information filled out, you just put in your name, your home address, and if you're representing a client, you put your client's name and then your name, and you want to have the email and phone number on here for them to be able to send you the records. Typically, they send it via email, so that's the best option. So now I'm going to talk about actually packaging this. So to package this, you want to have this upright where you can see the red line. It says fill a box to this line. You just want to fold these bottom flaps down. And you just slide this guy in. Sometimes it can be a little difficult. But when you're using this box, I didn't do it this time, but typically before you form the box, you want to go ahead and write your name on here because it's just easier. This case I didn't, obviously, but that just makes it easier than trying to write on a formed box. So I'm going to take the trowel here, move you guys down. So next I'm going to take the trowel and the box, and you want to make sure you write your information on the box before you form it, unlike I did. It just makes it easier to write on here, and you don't want to use like a permanent marker. You want to use like a pen. That way it doesn't have any bleeding or anything. So just take your trowel. You want to use a stainless steel or plastic. That way you're not contaminating the sample. And basically just going to fill this box up. And you're going to fill the box up until the red line. And if you don't have the classifiers like I have, the screen, you can just put your sample that you crushed into here, but you do need to crush your sample before you put it in. Otherwise, you're just going to have a not very uniform sample. But basically, this is, you know, what it looks like when it's done. And you've got the soil sample in here, and you're just going to want to fold this over, just like so. Okay, so once you've got your form filled out, you've got your box with the address on it closed up. You do not want to tape the box, by the way. What I like to do is I just like to take a old Amazon box or some other box. You can always buy a new box if you need, and then just some packaging paper, some old packaging paper you've gotten from Package Works, and I just like to wrap the sample. That way it doesn't slide around while in transit. Whatever box you use, if it is a used box, you just want to make sure that any kind of QR codes or any other old addresses or anything on there are removed or written out with a Sharpie. Just put this in there, get it all nice and snug, like so. And then I'm just going to add the form into here, and you can take a picture of the address. You want to send it to the physical address, and each state it might look different, the form might be different, but the Postal Service should be able to assist you with the correct location. So once you have a picture of that, you're just going to place this form in here, and then you want to close this with some packaging tape. Like I said, if you have any stickers like I have right here, I'm just going to tear this off so no one tries to scan it. And that's it. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you're interested in a soil sample or you're in the Waxhaw, North Carolina area and interested in any of our services, we'd love to assist you. I will include a link below to Amazon to the soil sample stainless steel probe that I use, as well as a link to schedule a consultation for our services. But other than that, soil sampling is a great way to take the guesswork out of applying fertilizers and lime every year. I personally do this at my house once a year in the spring to kind of get a general reading, and then it gives you the specific fertilizer recommendations based on the square footage. So you could use that to provide a customized fertilizer plan for a client, or if you're a homeowner, just for personal use, to really nail it down your grass to get it perfect, or for your plant, any other plants for that matter. Other than that, really appreciate it, and have a great day.